hundreds of thousands of Israelis took part in a nationwide rally Saturday evening for the 12th straight week of mass protests. It's all against the government's plan to overhaul the judicial system. Now, some estimates by organizers put the number at over 600,000 people in the streets nationwide. Now, the main rally was held in Tel Aviv, and 200,000 people there. The eyeball test can confirm that. Now, with so many coming both from within the city, from around the country, the passions are running high, and the protest movement is still organizing this entire week to be an ongoing mass demonstration, and all while the coalition proceeds with its legislative plans, at least for now. Here's more from the protest.
We're here fighting for our democratic values, the values that this country was built on, the values that our grandparents and our parents fought for, and we're continuing that fight so that this country will continue to be the home that it is for our kids and their kids as well.
I was a soldier in the Six-Day War. I was wounded in the 73 war, and we are fighting for a democratic, liberal, Western country. And now they want to make us into a theocracy like Iran and in a dictatorship of a criminal.
Joined by one of the protest organizers there. And again, just to give you the idea of some of the people showing up there, hard to generalize such a large crowd. But we're joined by Eran Swartz. He's the head of the Struggles headquarters here, joining us from Ra'anana in Israel. Eran, thanks for being with us. I know you're also a former Air Force pilot yourself, so maybe there's an angle there we discuss. But look, we're just starting what's being dubbed the week of paralysis. What are we in for?
First of all, I think we're in the middle of one of the most historic event in the Israeli society. We are fighting for our democracy, the soul of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state. And therefore, as you can see, it's the 12th week. And we're talking about people that this is not their job. Yeah, none of us, including myself, didn't choose to do what we're doing now, but we feel that we ought to do this thing. And therefore, it will only increase and only enlarge until the government will stop this craziness towards, as we see it, dictatorship, which we are fear the most. Therefore, this week, we will only continue and increase the stress that we put on the Knesset member, the parliament member, and the ministers. All of that, I must say, we do legally and with non-violent demonstrations because we believe this is the right way, as Gandhi, as Rosa Parks, as Martin Luther King. In this sense, we believe, as you can see, hundreds and thousands of people are protesting. Most of them are trying to do it non-violent. But we will increase and we will stress more and more until the Knesset members and the ministers will do the right thing. This is one thing that we will focus this week. And moreover, Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday will be days that we will try to block as much as we can the daily life of Israel, because we understand that if we will not do it now, later on, Israel will be paralyzed, and we will focus on a few different things. On Wednesday, we're going to have a large, huge demonstration in front of the Knesset in order to remember and in order to make the Knesset members understand that we are there and we will not be silent and we will fight for the Israeli democracy as much as we need, because this is the future of our kids, the future of our grandparents. I see people from all ages fighting for this cause from all parts of the Israeli politics, religious, non-religious people, because it's one thing that you never dreamed that will happen in Israeli society and happens very fast. This is the time to stop it.
Look, well put, certainly a lot going on here. You know, you mentioned the focused pressure, and this movement has grown. I mean, I should mention the audience here. By the 12th week here, these crowds have grown sizably every week that we've seen people come out. So it sounds like you're encouraged by this. You know, obviously there's momentum behind what you're up to. This focused pressure on the government ministers, I mean, finding them where they are, you know, hounding them as they move from place to place. It appears to have had some effect. We're seeing some of them now, you know, a bit more rattled in front of the cameras. Will that continue? I mean, you're seeing this. Are you seeing it the way we're seeing it, that some of these government figures, these lawmakers, these ministers are starting to be affected by this?
They are. We saw it last night that the Minister Gallant, the defense minister, at least by speaking, said the right words and understood that the way it's going, or the way the government, Bibi is trying to take, the prime minister is trying to take a government, is completely not something that will advance Israel, but the opposite. It will make Israel collapse economically, security-wise. We are on the verge of collapsing in only 3 months, and this is something that is crazy. And we will continue to press more and more and more. And we have people that doing shifts and will make double shifts. All of them volunteers, all of them people that just care about Israel. It's unbelievable. You know, on the way here, I just saw one of the places in front of one of the minister's house. By chance, I drove by there and I stopped by and saw the people who are standing there. And I went to speak to them because all of the time I'm in the planning part and trying to lead this event with all these organizations. And when you speak to them, you see a grandmother that she's in the age of 82 and ask her why she's there. And she said, this is for my grandchildren. This is for my grandchildren. She has 3 grandchildren. And I saw a person that left his work in order to protest and just to stand with a sign. And this is people I just met on the way. And it's not something political. It's something that about the core of the Israeli society. And that's why people are so invested in this and willing to put so much aside and pay a price. By the way, in the same time that so cynically the prime minister is eating lobsters in London in a Michelin restaurant. This is something that people on the street see and understand, that the level of detachment, the level of not being connected to the Israeli society is so high that we will not stop until we'll have a secured Israeli democracy.
Eran Swartz, thanks for the strong words and for joining us here on the program here. I know it's a busy week for you to come, so appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time and a bit of an idea of what we're in for this week. Thanks for joining.